You look outside and see the snow falling, or maybe you just feel that biting chill in the air and you think, okay, winter is here, time to bundle up. We worry about the stray dogs, the ones without homes, and rightly so. But there is a silent crisis happening right inside our warm, cozy living rooms. The truth is, our pampered indoor dogs often suffer more during winter than we ever realize. We make small mistakes, innocent ones, thinking we are helping them, when in reality, we might be causing them pain. From the dry air in your bedroom to the salt on the sidewalk, winter is a minefield for your best friend. Today, we are going to walk through 18 critical winter mistakes that most dog owners are making right now. Some might surprise you, some might scare you, but knowing them is the only way to keep your dog truly safe until spring returns. Let's start with the most common mistake, one that happens right inside your own home, and it stems from our desire to be comfortable. We tend to turn our apartments into what I call the tropical sauna trap. It feels so good, doesn't it? You come in from the cold, crank up the thermostat, and wrap yourself in a fleece blanket. You assume your dog loves it too. But look down for a second. Is your dog panting? Are they lying on the cold tile by the front door instead of their expensive bed? We forget that dogs run hotter than we do. Their normal body temperature is around 102 degrees. When you turn your home into a sauna, you are effectively overheating them. They can't take off their fur coat. They can't sweat through their skin like we do. They only cool down through their paws and their tongue. So while you are cozy, they are often miserable. This constant overheating destroys their ability to thermoregulate. If a dog is roasting at 75 degrees inside, and then you drag them out into 20-degree weather for a pee break, that thermal shock is brutal on their system. It weakens their immune response and stresses their heart. So if you see them seeking out the coldest spot in the house, turn the dial down. You're doing them a favor. But it's not just the temperature that hurts them. It's what that heat does to the quality of the air itself. This leads to the desert air disaster. Central heating sucks the moisture right out of your home, dropping humidity levels to 20%, which is drier than the Sahara Desert. Why does this matter for a dog? Because their nose is their first line of defense. A dog's nose needs to be moist to filter out viruses, bacteria, and dust. When the air is too dry, their mucous membranes crack. A dry, cracked nose is painful, but worse, it's an open door for infection. This is why so many dogs get respiratory infections in the dead of winter, not because of the cold, but because their natural defenses are dried out. You might also notice them scratching constantly. You think, does he have fleas in January? Probably not. It's dry skin. Just like your hands get chapped, their entire body gets itchy and flaky. The fix is simple. Get a humidifier. Aim for 50% humidity. It's good for your skin, and it's a lifesaver for your dog's respiratory health. Now naturally, because the air inside feels dry and the air outside is freezing, your instinct is probably to spend as little time outdoors as possible. This leads to the third major mistake, the 5-minute dash. I get it. It's freezing. You just want to take them out, have them do their business, and run back in. But this is damaging your dog physically and mentally. Physically, 5 minutes isn't enough time to fully empty the bladder or bowels. They might do a quick pee to relieve the pressure, but they often hold the rest because they sense your rush. Chronic holding leads to urinary tract infections and kidney stones, which are painful and expensive. Mentally, It's even worse. A dog needs to sniff and move. Winter depression in dogs is a real thing, and it comes from being cooped up with no stimulation. If they start chewing your shoes or pacing anxiously, it's not because they are bad. It's because they are bored out of their minds. Instead of one tiny walk, try to bundle up and do a solid 15 or 20 minutes. A tired dog is a happy dog, even in a blizzard. But when you do finally go out for those longer walks, you have to look down at where they are stepping because the ground itself has become a weapon. This brings us to the mistake of ignoring chemical salts. This is perhaps the most painful error on the list. City streets and sidewalks are covered in rock salt and de-icing chemicals. To us, it's just slush. To a dog, that stuff is acid. It burns their paw pads on contact. But the real danger happens when you get home. What is the first thing a dog does when their feet hurt? They lick them. They are now ingesting industrial-grade de-icing chemicals. This can cause severe chemical burns in the mouth, vomiting, and in serious cases, kidney failure. Even if they don't lick it, the salt gets stuck between their toes, creating friction like sandpaper until the skin is raw. You absolutely must wash their paws after every single walk. Warm water and a cloth. Or better yet, use a paw plunger to get that toxic sludge off before they can lick it. And while the salt burns the outside of their body, there is a misunderstanding about what is happening inside their body regarding their energy levels. We need to talk about the calorie deficit. Here is a myth that needs to die. My dog is less active in winter, so I should feed them less. For indoor dogs who just sleep all day maybe. But if you are walking your dog in the cold, their body is burning massive amounts of calories just to stay warm. Shivering burns calories. Regulating body temperature burns calories. If you feed them their summer portion while they are battling winter cold, they might be running on empty. A dog that is underweight will freeze much faster because they lack the insulating layer of body fat. They will shiver for hours after a walk because they simply don't have the fuel to generate heat. Monitor their weight. If they look a little lean, bump up their food by 10 or 15%. Consider adding healthy fats like salmon oil. Fat is a slow-burning fuel that helps keep them warm from the inside out. Speaking of empty tanks, there is another fluid level you are probably ignoring because you associate it with summer heat, not winter chill. That is the dehydration trap. We associate dehydration with hot days, panting, and drooling. But winter dehydration is a silent killer. The air is dry, and the wind sucks moisture from their body. Critically, dogs just don't feel as thirsty in the cold. Their thirst drive drops even though their water needs stay the same. When a dog is dehydrated, their blood gets thicker, forcing their heart to work harder. If their urine is dark yellow or smells strong, your dog is already dehydrated. You have to be proactive. Add warm water to their kibble to make a gravy. Switch to wet food, which is 70% water. Do not rely on them to drink enough on their own. Encourage it. So we've talked about what goes into their body, but let's talk about what happens to the outside of their body, specifically when you try to clean them. This is the mistake of the wet dog walk. It seems obvious, but it happens all the time. You give your dog a bath. You towel dry them. They look dry, right? So you take them out for their evening walk. Big mistake. The top coat might be dry, but the undercoat, that thick insulating layer near the skin, can hold moisture for hours. If you take a damp dog into freezing temperatures, you are basically wrapping them in a suit of ice. The water in their fur freezes, sucking the heat right out of their vital organs. This is a fast track to pneumonia. If you bathe your dog in winter, do it in the evening after their last walk. Use a hairdryer on a cool setting and dry them all the way to the skin. If you can't get them 100% dry, do not take them outside. It's better to skip one walk than to risk their lungs. Now, to avoid them getting wet and cold, many of us reach for a sweater. But did you know that choosing fashion over function is a dangerous game? I love a cute dog sweater as much as anyone. But in winter, fashion can be harmful if it's not functional. A knitted sweater looks adorable, but if it gets wet from snow, it becomes a wet, heavy freezing towel strapped to your dog's chest. It makes them colder, not warmer. Also, look at where the sweater covers. A lot of them cover the back, but leave the belly completely exposed. The belly is where the fur is thinnest and where the vital organs are closest to the skin. That is where they lose heat. You need functional gear. Look for a waterproof shell with a fleece lining. Make sure it covers the chest and the belly. Too tight, and it cuts off circulation. Too loose, and the wind gets in. While we are talking about their skin and coat, there is a grooming habit that you might think is helpful, but in January, it destroys their natural defense. That is the human shampoo problem. We talked about dry skin earlier. Do not make it worse by using your own shampoo on your dog. Human skin has a different pH balance than dog skin. Our shampoos are designed to strip oils. In winter, your dog needs every drop of natural oil they have. That oil is their waterproofing. It's their windbreaker. If you strip it away with harsh soap, their skin becomes vulnerable to the cold and to cracking. Use a moisturizing oatmeal shampoo specifically for dogs. And honestly, bathe them less in winter. Unless they rolled in mud, try to spot clean them. Preserving those natural oils is crucial for their winter coat to work properly. We are worrying about their skin drying out, but we also need to worry about their stomach, specifically how we react when they come inside panting. This leads to the ice water shock. You fill their bowl with cold tap water. In winter, tap water can be nearly freezing. Your dog comes in from a walk panting body hot from exertion and gulps down ice-cold water. This can cause stomach spasms. It shocks the system. In deep-chested breeds, some vets believe it can contribute to bloat, which is a life-threatening emergency. At the very least, it lowers their core temperature right when they are trying to warm up. Offer room temperature water. If they just came in from a blizzard, maybe even offer slightly lukewarm water or broth. It's gentler on their stomach and helps them recover their body heat faster. It's not just their physical body that suffers in winter. It's their mind. Have you noticed them sleeping more? That might be darkness depression. We feel it, don't we? The sun goes down at 4:30 p.m. Dogs feel it too. They're creatures of the sun. Living in perpetual darkness or dim indoor light disrupts their serotonin, the happy hormone. If your dog seems lethargic, sleeps 20 hours a day, or refuses to play, they might just be sad. The lack of light is depressing them. Try to walk them during the lunch hour when the sun is highest. Move their bed near a window so they can soak up whatever natural light exists. Turn on the lights in your house. Keep the environment bright and cheerful to trick their brain into feeling better. And when they are feeling low and cold, they naturally seek out heat sources which leads to a dangerous habit we often think is cute. Sleeping by the radiator. Your dog curls up right next to the radiator or the space heater. It looks cozy. You let them stay there for hours. But this is dangerous. The direct dry heat destroys their mucous membranes, leading to that dry nose and coughing we discussed. Also, they can overheat without realizing it. They fall into a deep sleep and their body temperature spikes. When they finally wake up and move away, they are dehydrated and groggy. Create a warm zone for them that is comfortable but not directly touching a heat source. A heated dog bed with a safety sensor is much safer than letting them cook themselves next to a space heater. We protect them from the heat inside, but we often forget to protect the one part of them that touches the frozen ground outside. This is paw pad neglect. Winter ground is abrasive. Ice is sharp. Frozen mud is like concrete. Your dog's pads are tough, but they aren't invincible. Over time, the winter terrain acts like sandpaper, wearing down the calluses until they crack. Once a paw pad cracks, it is incredibly hard to heal because they walk on it constantly. You need to act preventatively. Use paw wax before the damage happens. And importantly, keep the hair between their toes trimmed short. Why? Because long hair collects snow, which turns into ice balls. These ice balls push the toes apart, causing pain and splaying the foot. It's like walking with a rock in your shoe. Trim that hair and check their feet after every walk. And while we are looking at the ground, we have to talk about something that looks innocent, like a fun snack, but is actually a sponge for toxins. We need to debunk the snow-eating myth. You see your dog eating snow, and you think, oh, he's thirsty, or he's just having fun. Eating a little fresh snow is usually fine, but eating snow in the city is dangerous. Snow acts like a sponge. It absorbs exhaust fumes, chemical runoff pee from other animals, and hidden trash. But the bigger danger is gastric upset. Eating a large volume of freezing snow lowers the stomach temperature rapidly. It can cause violent vomiting and diarrhea, what vets call snow gastritis. It's messy and miserable for the dog. If they are eating snow frantically, they are likely thirsty. Carry water with you. Don't let them use the dirty snowbank as a water fountain. There is another danger outside that has nothing to do with what they eat, but everything to do with whether they can be seen. This is the mistake of having an invisible dog. Winter means darkness. You are walking in the morning dark. Walking after work. Dark. Drivers cannot see a dark dog on dark asphalt. Every winter, thousands of dogs are hit by cars simply because they were invisible. And retractable leashes make this worse. Your dog can be 15 feet away from you, right in the road, while you are safe on the sidewalk. You need to light them up like a Christmas tree. Reflective collars are good, but LED collars are better. Get a light that clips onto their harness. Wear a reflective vest yourself. Assume every car is blind. Keep them on a short fixed leash near roads. Do not gamble with their life in the dark. Darkness hides physical objects, but the snow hides a chemical killer that smells sweet and tastes deadly. We have to talk about the antifreeze assassin. This is the stuff nightmares are made of. Ethylene glycol, common antifreeze, smells sweet. It tastes sweet. To a dog, it smells like maple syrup. You find it in parking lots, driveways, and gutters. A few licks, literally a teaspoon, can kill a small dog. It causes rapid kidney failure. By the time you see symptoms like vomiting or acting drunk, it is often too late to save them. Do not let your dog sniff or lick puddles in winter. Ever. If you see a greenish or pinkish puddle on the snow, steer clear. If you suspect they licked even a drop, go to the emergency vet immediately. We worry about poisons, but we rarely worry about the gear we put on them every day. Take a look at their collar. This brings us to the hidden threat of metal contact. This is one we rarely think about. Metal gets colder than the air, much colder. Think about the metal ID tag dangling from your dog's collar, or the metal buckle on their harness, or a metal choke chain. If that metal sits against their skin in freezing temperatures, it can cause frostbite. It's like the old tongue on a flagpole trick, but on their neck. It conducts the cold right into their body. In winter, switch to plastic buckles. Put a cover over their metal tags, or use an embroidered collar where the info is stitched on. Do not use metal chains in freezing weather unless you are absolutely sure they aren't touching the skin. It's a small detail that saves them a lot of discomfort. Finally, we need to speak for the ones who suffer the most in silence, the ones whose joints ache with every drop in temperature. We cannot ignore the old dog ache. Winter is brutal for arthritic dogs. The drop in barometric pressure and the cold makes joints stiff and painful. If your old dog is hesitating to go for a walk or struggling to get up in the morning, they aren't being difficult. They are hurting. The cold is seeping into their bones. You need to be aggressive with comfort. Get them an orthopedic bed. Maybe use a heated pad. Consult your vet about joint supplements or pain management during the winter months. Do not force them to walk long distances in the cold. Let them take it easy. They've earned it. Winter doesn't have to be a time of suffering. It can be a wonderland of snowy romps and cozy cuddles by the fire. But it requires us to be vigilant. It requires us to see the world through their eyes and their paws. Take a look at your routine today. Are you guilty of the 5-minute dash? Is the air in your house too dry? Are you checking their paws for salt? It's okay if you made mistakes before. We all have. But now you know better. Choose one thing from this list to change today, and you will see the difference in your dog's energy and happiness. Stay warm, stay safe, and give your pup a cuddle from me. Thanks for watching.